Randall Rudy Randy Quaid is an American actor nominated for a Golden Globe, BAFTA and an Academy Award for his role in The Last Detail. Quaid also won a Golden Globe Award and was nominated for an Emmy for his portrayal of U.S. President Lyndon Johnson in LBJ, The Early Years. Quaid is well known for his roles in the National Lampoon's vacation movies, Brokeback Mountain, Independence Day, and Kingpin. Early life: Randy Quaid was born in Houston, Texas, the son of Juanita Bonnie-Dale Nita, a real estate agent, and William Rudy Quaid, an electrician. He is the older brother of actor Dennis Quaid. Randy attended Pershing Middle School and Bel Air High School. Quaid's early life in Texas ended when he was cast in The Last Picture Show, causing him to leave Texas for Hollywood. Quaid's parents divorced when he was 21. Quaid is a third cousin of cowboy movie star Gene Autry. He briefly attended the University of Houston, studying acting through the university's School of Theatre and Dance. Acting career: film. Quaid has appeared in over 90 films. Peter Bogdanovich discovered him when Quaid was a student at the University of Houston, and he received his first exposure in Bogdanovich's The Last Picture Show. His character escorts J.C. Farrow to a late-night indoor skinny dip at a swimming pool. It was the first of several roles directed by Bogdanovich and all based on the writings of Larry McMurtry. Quaid's first major role was in the critically acclaimed The Last Detail. He played a young U.S. Navy sailor on his way to serve a harsh sentence for stealing $40 from an admiral's wife's pet charity. Jack Nicholson played the sailor assigned to transport him to prison. Nicholson's character eventually becomes his friend and mentor, helping him experience different aspects of life before he goes behind bars. Quaid was nominated for a Golden Globe, BAFTA and an Academy Award for his role in The Last Detail. He was featured in 2 science fiction movies, Independence Day and Martians Go Home. Other movie roles include Kingpin, where he played the lovable Amish bowler Ishmael, alongside Woody Harrelson and Vanessa Angel, a loser father in Not Another Teen Movie, and an obnoxious neighbor to Richard Pryor's character in Moving. He played the lead role in the HBO movie Dead Solid Perfect, a golfer trying to make it on the PGA Tour. He also appeared in National Lampoon's vacation movies as Cousin Eddie to Chevy Chase's Clark Griswold. Shortly after starring in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Quaid was featured in Days of Thunder as a comical NASCAR car owner and successful car salesman Tim Dyland, a determined businessman who expects his team to be top-notch for fans and sponsors. Quaid had a pivotal supporting role in Brokeback Mountain as an insensitive rancher. Television: Quaid received both Golden Globe and Emmy nominations for his 2005 portrayal of talent manager Colonel Tom Parker in the critically acclaimed CBS television network miniseries Elvis. He was nominated for an Emmy and won a Golden Globe for his portrayal of President Lyndon Johnson in LBJ, The Early Years. Quaid's other television appearances include a season as a Saturday Night Live cast member, the role of gunslinger John Wesley Hardin in the miniseries Streets of Laredo, and starring roles in the short-lived series The Brotherhood of Poland, New Hampshire and Davis Rules, and the 2-part television film adaptation of John Steinbeck's novel of Mice and Men, playing the character of Lenny. He was featured in the highly rated television films Category 6, Day of Destruction, and Category 7, The End of the World, and starred in Last Rites, a made-for-cable Stead's encore. Premiere movie: Quaid voiced the Colonel Sanders character in radio and television commercials for fast food restaurant chain Kentucky Fried Chicken. Quaid's voiceover work also included Capital One credit card, US Air, Miller Beer, and a guest role in the Ren and Stimpy Show. He narrated the 2006 PBS show Texas Ranch House. Recurring characters on Saturday Night Live: Quaid played a number of recurring characters on Saturday Night Live, including the Floating Head, a Rod Serling-esque character in the Twilight Zone parody, The Limits of the Imagination, Rudy Randolph, Jr., a pitchman from Abilene, Texas, dressed as a cowboy who sells irregular merchandise or treasures from dictators. Often paired with Rudy Randolph III, the name is a spin on Quaid's real name. The character probably came from Quaid's childhood, when Quaid was growing up in the Houston area in the 1960s. Local Western singer Utah Carl had a TV show every Saturday on KTRK, with commercials from Gulf Coast Furniture Warehouse in Alvin, Texas. Theater. In 2004, Quaid appeared on stage undertaking the starring role of Frank in the world premiere of Sam Shepard's The God of Hell, produced by the New School University at the Actors Studio Drama School in New York. In The God of Hell, Quaid's portrayal of Frank, a Wisconsin dairy farmer whose home is infiltrated by a dangerous government operative who wants to take over his farm, was well received and reviewed by New York City's top theater critics. It marked the second time that Quaid starred in a Shepard play, the first being the long-running Broadway hit True West. In February 2008, a 5-member hearing committee of Actors Equity Association, the labor union representing American stage actors, banned Quaid for life and fined him more than $81,000. The charges that brought the sanctions originated in a Seattle production of Lone Star Love, a Western-themed adaptation of Shakespeare's The Merry Wives of Windsor, in which Quaid played the lead role of Falstaff. The musical was scheduled to come to Broadway, but producers canceled it. According to the New York Post, all 26 members of the musical cast brought charges that Quaid physically and verbally abused his fellow performers, and that the show closed rather than continuing to Broadway because of Quaid's oddball behavior. Quaid's lawyer, Mark Block, said the charges were false, and that one of the complaining actors had said the action was driven by the producers who did not want to give Randy his contractual rights to creative approval or financial participation. Block said that Quaid had left the union before the musical started, making the ban moot, and that Quaid only participated in the hearing because he wanted due process. Quaid's statement on the charges was, "I am guilty of only one thing, giving a performance that elicited a response so deeply felt by the actors and producers with little experience of my creative process that they actually think I am Falstaff." Music career. Quaid has performed musical work, primarily through his band Randy Quaid and the Fugitives. The group released its first single, Star Whackers, in March 2011. An accompanying film, Star Whackers, was premiered by the Quaids in Vancouver on April 23, 2011. Personal life. Quaid was married to Ella Marie Jolly on May 11, 1980, and they had a daughter, Amanda Marie, born May 29, 1983. They were separated on September 9, 1986 and divorced August 24, 1989. Quaid met Eva Moto-Alanes in December 1987 in the set of the film, Bloodhounds of Broadway, in which Madonna starred. He married Eva Moto-Alanes on October 5, 1989 at a Montecito, California resort. His brother Dennis, actress Meg Ryan, and Randy's 6-year-old daughter Amanda were in attendance. Randy Quaid, who is 60, was nominated for an Oscar for The Last Detail, won a Golden Globe for his performance as Lyndon Johnson in LBJ, The Early Years, and has appeared in more than 70 other films, including Independence Day and Brokeback Mountain. He has worked with countless legends of the film industry, meanwhile earning a reputation as a great actor. He is probably best known, however, for his over-the-top role as Cousin Eddie, Chevy Casier unregistered trademark S. Schlemiel cousin-in-law in the vacation comedies A Something Which Irks Him. Legal issues. Brokeback Mountain lawsuit. On March 23, 2006, Quaid, who played Joe Aguirre in Brokeback Mountain, filed a lawsuit against Focus Features, Del Mar Productions, James Sharmas, David Lind, and Does One €10 alleging that they intentionally and negligently misrepresented Brokeback Mountain as a low-budget, art house film with no prospect of making money in order to secure Quaid's professional acting services at below-market rates. The film had grossed more than $160 a million as of the date of his lawsuit, which sought $10 a million plus punitive damages. On May 5, Quaid dropped his lawsuit. Quaid's publicist said that he decided to drop the lawsuit after Focus Features agreed to pay a bonus. Focus Features denies making such a settlement. Alleged failure to pay hotel bill. On September 24, 2009, Quaid and his wife were arrested in Texas for allegedly defrauding an innkeeper, burglary, and conspiracy in California. The arrest stemmed from an earlier incident in which the Quaids had allegedly left a Santa Barbara, California hotel with a balance due of approximately $10,000. The two were released on bail that evening. Evie Quaid provided a handwritten statement to the celebrity news site TMZ after the arrest claiming that the bill had been paid. A copy of a cashier's check for $5,546.96 dated September 22, 2009 accompanied the note. The Quaids made arrangements to appear in court in Santa Barbara but failed to do so. On October 29, the Santa Barbara District Attorney's Office requested bench warrants for their arrest and extradition from Texas. Although subsequent arrest warrants were quashed, after the Quaids failed to appear at court on April 12 and 13, 2010, $40,000 in bail was forfeited and arrest warrants for the couple were issued again on April 14, 2010. The Quaids appeared in court with their attorney Robert Sanger on April 26, 2010 after missing several court appearances. The Quaids were briefly detained in custody on April 26, 2010 and released after processing. On April 28, 2010, Sanger resolved the case with Senior Deputy District Attorney Ernest Oakes. The case was dismissed against Randy Quaid for lack of evidence. Evie Quaid pleaded no contest to a misdemeanor count of defrauding an innkeeper. She was granted probation for 3 years. She will be required to serve 240 hours of community service. Alleged illegal occupancy. On September 18, 2010, in Santa Barbara, California, Randy Quaid and his wife faced burglary charges for living in a guest house without permission of the owner. They claimed that they had owned the property since the 1990s, although a representative of the property owner had called the Santa Barbara Sheriff's Office and produced documents that showed the house as being sold to the current owner in 2007. The previous owner purchased the property from the Quaids several years earlier. TMZ reported that the Quaids claimed that the home was wrongfully transferred to a third party by the use of the forged signature of a dead woman named Rhonda Quaid in 1992. The Quaids are accused of more than $5,000 in damage that they are said to have caused to the guest house. They were booked for felony residential burglary under Section 459 of the California Penal Code, and misdemeanor entering a non-commercial building without consent. Evie Quaid was also booked for misdemeanor resisting arrest. Their bail was set at $50,000 each. On September 19, 2010 they posted bail and were released. On October 18, 2010, bench warrants for the Quaids were issued following their failure to appear for a hearing on the burglary charges. Their bail was subsequently raised to $500,000 each. Their bail was forfeited in November 2010. The company that posted bail for the Quaids lost a court case in January 2012 to prevent the forfeiture. On April 11, 2014 it was ruled that Randy Quaid's bond will be rescinded due to a procedural error. Application for Canadian refugee status. On October 22, 2010, Quaid and his wife sought protection under the Canadian Immigration and Refugee Protection Act, after being arrested in the Corrisdale neighbourhood of Vancouver. They have since applied for refugee status on the grounds that they fear for their lives in the United States, claiming that numerous actors have died under mysterious circumstances committed by the Hollywood star whackers. They were granted bail on the condition of $10,000 bond pending further Immigration and Refugee Board of Canada hearings. However, due to their failure to deposit the required bond with the court for several days, they remained in custody of the Canada Border Services Agency. They were released on October 27 after the discovery that Evie Quaid is a prima facie Canadian citizen. On July 15, 2011 an attempt to extradite Randy and Evie Quaid from Canada failed when the U.S. Department of Justice turned down a request from the Santa Barbara County District Attorney calling for the Quaids to be returned to California to face the felony burglary charges dating from the September 2010 incident. As a result, if Quaid and his wife re-enter the United States, they will be arrested. In January 2013, Canadian immigration officials denied Randy Quaid's request for permanent resident status in Canada while leaving open the option to challenge this decision in federal court. Filmography, references. External links, Randy Quaid at the Internet Movie Database, Randy Quaid at the Internet Off-Broadway Database, WCBS News Radio article Randy Quaid drops lawsuit over Brokeback Mountain pay. Archived from the original on November 11, 2006. Retrieved November 29, 2006. January 2011 Vanity Fair profile, Randy Quaid at Emmys.com.